The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi everybody, welcome to the weekly Noyantis Usergroup meeting. Myself and John are your hosts. Today is, what are we on, the 16th of March 2020. Didn't actually think we'd be here this week because I thought we'd be in the final stages of prepping for our trip to South Africa for the event, but as you know, it's postponed. So hopefully it's back on for later in the year in September. We keep everything fingers and toes and everything else crossed for that. So in the meantime, we shall continue as normal. So if you've got any queries or questions or ideas, solutions, feel free to raise your hand and we will cover the topic as expected. Nothing really to report for myself here. There's a series of updates which we spoke about, and they are literally in progress as we speak. They should be released this week. Well, they will be released this week. The reason for that is because they should have been released this week prior to us going to South Africa for the event. So that is still the schedule. They will still continue, and you can start watching your mailboxes and so on for the update accordingly. That's actual support. Maybe I should tell them to come to the user group. So, John, how do we stand from an updated point of view, so that when the update comes out, we can announce it on the update it and people know accordingly?
It's still in the beta, I guess, releases, but I have all the Noyantis stuff downloading, which
Cool.
is really nice. And messages, I believe, are working. So, yeah, it'll automatically put a message out. Let's see, what are you doing with yours? You have the API, yeah. So when your API changes, when your version changes, it'll automatically put out a message.
Well, my update it, I've not tried it since when you were launching it on the Friday, but I still get this issue, the registration, and I've done that a couple of times and I don't get anywhere. I'm not sure I need an update to it.
You probably do need an update to it.
Okay, well that's no problem. What we will do, when the first product is ready to go and be released, I will drop you a quick message. Maybe we'll get it updated there, and then you can quickly show me, okay, add this, and then we can update, push the updates out accordingly. Sound like a plan?
Okay, it does, yeah.
Cool. Okay, so any questions? No questions. This could really be a short. This could be the shortest webinar on record at this rate. We'll wait for the questions. In the meantime, as I say, the work you can see, I'm actually just doing some work on the command bars on how it builds the content. So, for example, let me jump through. There you go, like so. So in the, I should have just searched for create controls to be fair, but here's our create controls, and this is where it will build the particular content. And then it uses all of those particular properties to synchronize the object all at one go. So the creation, as you've seen, I don't know if anyone has seen this in the past, but the creation of, forget that bit there, but it's different controls. Here's our log, if you will. So that'll stay on top. Bring this back into focus, and if I do our create controls, and there's our controls appeared, and our timings are around 0.2 of a second. So that's increased a little. No, sorry, no, it's a 0.093. Because that was just going into it, so forget that. Yeah, 0.093. Whereas beforehand, that was coming in around about the 3 seconds. So yeah, we are literally in a fraction of the time, and so on. So that is the update was going to be released this week, and the approach, as I say, what we've got here, just let me move that out of the way, is that you would have previously, after the parent call, had code to add the control and add the various different properties and objects and so on accordingly. This time, we're going with this queue, and you populate it with all the various different elements and the actual create controls parent call. Oh. Let's jump down to there. Yep, the parent call is where it actually does all the magic, if you will. So you still see it's actually doing some of the old code afterwards to do with the pop-ups, and this code is just being in the process of switching up here. So if anything, what we've just seen there is actually going to get faster, not slower, with when the other code's done. So yeah, so a massive increase. And John, if I remember rightly, it's not this Friday, the Friday after. I've committed to the Friday webinar for the launch of the new calendar.
Right.
So yeah, that's what I think we'll do is, because the calendar might not take the whole Friday webinar, I think we might actually cover 2 or 3 updates all in the same webinar, because there's quite some largish ones to come out. It's only fair that we let everybody know about them. Okay, questions, please, anybody? Okay, I'll tell you what, while we're just waiting there, the person who's just emailed support, I'm just going to see if they're still available, and I'm going to send them a quick email. Oh, we've got a question, Frank. Hi, Frank. That's I'm trying to see the actual question. Thoughts isn't big enough, but let's open the mic up. Frank, are you there?
Yeah, hi Andy, how are you?
Hi. Yes, fine, thank you. Yourself? Oh,
can you hear me?
I can, yes.
Okay, good. You know, sometimes you pop up a help screen, and I think I emailed this question to you once before. I can't seem to find it. You know, we have all these different there's
a couple of help things I use, which
yeah, that one there.
Oh, I was going to say.
Where do I find that?
Okay, because I use a more rough and ready, if you will, utility called this, which will launch help, but that actual help itself is in your CodeJock. I think it's in your either the help or the bin folder. So if you navigate to your version of CodeJock.
Okay.
So let's just choose, doesn't really matter, the latest one, 19.1. Oh, go into it's in help, and it's called symbol reference.
I gotta find where the original CodeJock is.
It'd probably be under your program files x86.
Oh, yeah, I'm still under Windows 7 here, so it's not there. All right, so I'll look for it. I don't want to hold anything up.
It's okay, you're only a question at the moment, so it's a very quiet one.
Yeah, it's quiet everywhere. Let me just do a search for it. I mean, maybe I did put it on my D drive. Program files. Codex. God, I can't find it.
So you're looking at something like, let me just go a little slower. So program files x86, and then into obviously CodeJock.
I'm just going to look for CodeJock. C drive. Now the other help version that you have.
This is an actual type lib viewer called IEEE. Let me just show you that.
Oh, wait, let me take a screenshot. Okay.
Yep. Now, what I would suggest there is that used to be a free download off the internet, but the later versions I've seen are all full of viruses. Now, it was a free utility, and so on,
Oh,
so
great.
download. But I will send you a zip if you like of that, which because I've got it from years ago.
Yeah.
It's a bit crude. You don't get all the. Let's let me move that to one side. You'll get like the raw objects, if you will. So let's say I go right to the start. So command bar, just command bars will do. So that's like the start of the overall command bars. And the way I can signify that is you usually get some kind of about box, which is right. That's okay. That's the highest level of the tree, if you will. And then
Right.
from there, you would go. Let's say I'm going to do an add, and that would expect to bring me back an object, and it's a command bar object. So then I could go to here, look at the command bar object, and then I can have a look at all its methods, properties, and events. And so you can see that these are properties, these are methods, and there should be, is there any events? No, but there would be at the upper level. So that is a very raw way of looking at an ActiveX, an OCX, or a typelib, if you will. And this is just for the CodeJock. So of course, this you could do command bars, which will take you straight to, again, that starting point. Look at its members. You can see the about box, which is what you saw back on the other one, and the add. So that will tell you it's going to return you a command bar. But of course, then you can click on that and follow through all the various different members. So we can see here, let's bring that up to the top. And I can see there's the properties bar ID, built-in, closable. So it's bar ID, built-in, closable, and so on and so forth. So that's how you link the two together.
I got you. Damn, I can't find my.
No? I mean,
I'll keep looking for it. I don't want to hold you up here.
That's no
I
problem.
don't know where the hell I put it.
Worst case scenario, again, it's a bit crude, but drop to a command prompt and do a good old-fashioned dir CodeJock star.ocx/s where and pipe it to more.
Yeah.
Bit crude, but at least it'll help you find where you installed them to.
I have my OCXs, all of my my application folders and stuff. I know I probably shouldn't, but
if you're using Reg3Com, you would ship the ActiveXs with the you ship the controls with your application if you're using Reg3Com, but of course you wouldn't want the .lic, your license files.
Yeah, no, I don't ship those, but which you've pointed out to me in the past. Just don't know where in the hell I put the main CodeJock stuff. Oh well. I'm actually doing a search of my entire drive, so CodeJock. Well, I'll find it. And then you say it's in the bin folder. Is it a help file or?
It's not in the bin, sorry. It's in the. You go to that. So let's go back a few steps. Let's go back to. So you've gone program files x86. You've gone CodeJock, or CodeJock software, I should say. ActiveX, and then you will have if you've just followed their default installation, that is, you'll have a subfolder per version. So I'm just going to choose, and they're all the same, so I'll literally choose one at random. 13. There you go, into there. I've removed some of the other folders, okay?
Sure.
Because obviously I don't need all the examples from version 13, so I just save some space. But you will have a help folder, and in there you will have symbol reference, and that will open the symbol reference for that 13, so you can see here, this is the older one.
I gotcha. All right. Well, I'll find it. It's in my computer somewhere. Damn it.
There will be. Well, if you maybe do a search for symbol reference.chm, because that's ultimately the file you're after.
Oh. should search for that. Yeah, hold on. I've got a wait, Kojak, no. Symbol reference dot CHM.
CHM, yeah.
All right, I'm searching my entire D drive here. It's an SSD, so it shouldn't be too.
Would it be your D or would it be your C, depending if you've moved your program files
Well,
around, obviously.
yeah, I keep a lot of stuff on my D drive. I have 4 drives, but 2 SSD drives. But my C drive is small, so I try to keep as few things on there as possible.
Got you. Well,
But if you have any other questions, go right ahead.
Not at the moment, but I am actually just.
Go ahead and do your tech support.
Okay, well, I was just inviting him. He's got some questions regarding controls and so on. So it's a user group session, so it seems the obvious place for him to, join us.
Oh, I found it. Help declink extreme suite control.
Okay, so we just fired a quick email over to them. What you call service. Okay, well, we're all waiting for see if Frank can find the file, and hopefully Alex will join us shortly with his particular questions.
I found it.
You found it. Was it in one of the program files then?
Yes. It was on my D drive, but I actually had it under Clarion 10. I don't know why I loaded it up there, but I did. So.
Okay. So yeah, that's the obviously this is an old one, and we've got a new one over here. But you follow the chain, if you will. So you'd have say for example command bars, and you can just go through accordingly.
No, that's good. I got that. And we did talk about me doing like a because I like your schedule it or schedule IT, whatever you're calling it, about putting an app together, and I've been trying to do it, but I got waylaid here. So maybe next week, if we don't have a lot of questions, we could do that. But
yeah, of course. I know Alex has got because he's I think he's using multiple panes. Well, I'll tell you what. While we're just waiting, have you got a screen in mind, just so that I can take a quick look now, and give it some thought for next week? Sorry to put you on the spot there.
Yeah, thanks, Andy. Where did I put it? Clarion 11. Oh God. I put it in my. I started getting it together a bit, and because I actually went back to your trainings, not CIDC, but prior to that. Remember, you had a big training that I still have all the.
Yeah, we've done. I think you've been to a few of them. Yeah, so which is good. Thank you.
I had all the videos, and so I reviewed them, and I started putting something together, and actually I was rushing to try to get it last Monday, and.
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll open, because I know Alex has got a question on
Go ahead.
and it might touch
Go right ahead.
most of what you're wanting to achieve. You see?
Okay. And I'll keep looking in the meantime, and I'll self-mute here. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
So, Alex, now you've joined us, but I don't see a microphone. So, could you just type in the box to let me know if you've got a microphone? No question, no response yet. No? Okay, well, I'll tell you what we'll do. So Alex is asking, we was going to connect and chat about some of the work that he's doing. So I just saw an icon. I'm just trying to see if he's available. So Alex, I'm not sure if you can hear us. If you can, try and either type in some kind of notification in the question box just to let us know that you can hear us. And if you've got a microphone, that would be good. You've just opened it up. Are you there, Alex?
Yes.
Ah, brilliant.
Thank you.
Great. So, are we okay to look at your screen or look at the email and so on? And then you can talk us through what you're trying to achieve and where you're up to.
Yeah, sure.
Is the screen okay?
Yeah, you want me to share my screen?
Yep, you should get an option any second now. Okay. Yep, we can watch your email. Sorry, watch. We can see your email.
I started the okay. Okay, can you see the
Clarion 11?
Yes.
Yes.
Is that okay?
We can, yeah.
Okay, so let me just show real quick. I was using our test app that you had originally. Let me find the do you remember this from the conference?
I do, yes. Yep.
And basically I've messed with it, but you see how
Ooh.
you've got a pane on top, and then I was able to stick a shortcut bar into the bottom pane.
Yep. There's a
which is
paint
kind of
issue with the icons as well there to do with the manifest.
Yeah, I was just doing proof of concept. The thing is for some reason I can't get that to work in my application. And basically, let me show you what I have going on here. In my app, you can see the screen, right?
Yep.
Okay. So here I have a Noyantis report.
Brilliant. Yeah, looks good.
And then I have the pane. And in this pane right here, in theory, we should be seeing a shortcut toolbar. Actually, I want to get a vertical command bar in there, but first I'm trying to get the shortcut bar to work because that's what you had in your app.
Okay.
But I can't get that to work either. And it's supposed to be showing up in here.
Let's have a look at what you've got then. So let's first of all, let's just go one step back. Let's look at the globals, if you can, please. Global extensions.
Sure.
So we've got the shortcut bar. If we could just double click on that, please.
Shortcut bar, okay. And I have 19.1, Kojak 19.1 installed.
Okay, so let's, first of all, the specify version is really, to pinch a term from Monopoly, it's your get out of jail free card. But basically, you would only ever use it as a last resort. So wherever possible, always use one of the predefined options. So if you drop that down and choose 19.1, then what that will do is if you look at the ActiveX license tab, don't worry, it won't show you code. But what it does do is it will preset those two entries for you with all the required details. Now, if you use
the copyright and the product ID,
it will calculate those accordingly. If you go and change that version to another version, you'll see those will change. But
perfect. Okay.
You specify, then they become enabled. But it's up to you to actually specify what they are because you've then taken control. So it's over to you, so to speak. So the scenario where you would use specify would be you've not kept up to date with your Noyantis templates, and that's fine. You don't have to. There's no punishment for it. But yeah, you do have a newer version of Kojak. So then you would want to, you need to use, let's say, version 20 comes out, but the template doesn't support version 20, the version you're on. Then you could use the specify, but you'd have to do all the settings yourself.
Oh, I see. Okay, okay, that makes sense.
That's good.
Okay.
I presume I'm not
Yeah.
going to ask you to look at your license code because you're obviously on public show, but you have put your license code in, I take it.
Yes, I did here, and
Don't
I've
don't,
entered it here.
don't
Yep.
press it, but yeah, that's fine.
Of course, yes.
The register, if you can look at that tab. Oh no,
What's that?
the register tab, second tab.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
I have
could
them all as do not register. Is that correct? Because we're
it's
just
fine for
installing.
development. Yeah, it's fine for development. But when you go to release, then you would want that to use reg3com.
Do we? Because in the release, we have a setup builder that installs
Oh,
the
then
code calc stuff.
oh, then you're fine. No, then,
Yeah.
then you're fine then. So do not register. That's fine. But you would still need your other license stuff what you had there. So that's
Of
good.
course, yes. Mm-hmm.
Okie dokie. And you're taking your images from a compiled DLL, I take it.
Yes, it's in this particular DLL, and they're all part of the solution. The
Yep.
images.
Yep, no, very good. That's a very efficient way of building, if commonly used images. That's a very efficient way of doing them. Plus, it makes upgrades easier as well. Okay, so
It
that's
does.
good for that point of view. I take it would be worth you quickly checking the other Noyantis ones just to make sure you've chose a predefined version.
Yes, let me do that just to make sure. Okay,
Yep.
This one's correct, right?
That's correct.
This one.
That's correct.
This one's correct. That one's correct.
Good. Yep.
Oh, we just did that. Okay. The skin.
Yep. Very good.
That one's correct. And last one, sweet. Okay, and that one's correct.
So it was just the shortcut bar. So let's have a look at that point just to see if that was your issue, because it could have well have been that you
Really? Okay, should I go ahead and?
Yeah, let's have a look if that's done it. That might actually just been the issue. If not, then we can move on to the next material.
Okay. Wow, I hope that is the issue, because that would be awesome if this is. But I want to say I've been like studying your classes, and all because I've tried all these things and all this stuff on various issues, and I've been living in these classes, and I just want to say I can't even imagine the amount of work that you put into to create these things in the Clarion side. It's so much work, so much organization. I can't even imagine doing all that.
There's been a bit. Actually, we are approaching 12 years now, so
it's a lot of work. All right, here's
look at the initial look of this. Looks lovely. Right. Okay.
Yeah,
so
it looks so much
we've got
better
our
than
docking
before.
panes, but we haven't got our shortcut bar. That's
Yeah.
good. That's.
Yeah, I've got another pane that's the add remove columns right here.
Yep.
So I've got that figured out. So, and so, but it's for some. So you see, like the column picker, I'm able to stick that in there and make it appear, as in Noyantis. But for some reason, into this pane, I can't get any anything in there.
Okay, let's have a look then. So let's look at your next. We'll go to where your docking panes are.
Okay. Which one should I go? The docked one, right?
Yes.
The content management, following your conference example, it's disabled, and I've been trying to do everything the same to get it to work. So I have that disabled.
That's fine. Yep, that's the one you want to put on that. You want your content management, and I'm guessing you've got, was it 3 panes, something like that?
Yes, I have 3 panes.
Okay.
So I got the report pane, which you saw has the reports, and then you got the field picker pane I just showed you, and those are working fine. But it's this first pane, and I just called it a stupid name. I was going off, so that's
Oh,
not
no,
nothing
no, it's good.
final.
It's exactly what it is.
But
Let's look at your content.
Yep.
Code shock, shortcut bar, nothing wrong with that. That's a bit strange.
Now, interesting. I guess we could try. I don't know if like I've tried putting in like, for example, like some other control, like, and then things appear like a
Yeah.
button and stuff. It'll come up, but for some reason the shortcut bar does not appear. Nor
Okay.
originally I'd wanted to do a command bar, but that wasn't working, and I disabled the command bar I have in that screen and try to do the shortcut bar because I figured, let me just get that to work because your sample app does it.
Okay.
And I don't know why mine's not doing it.
Okay. Does look good though. So press OK on that.
Mm-hmm.
And OK that. Let's look at your screen definition if you can, please.
You mean to the window? This?
Yes. Yeah.
Which one? The actual window? You want to go to like
Yep. Onto the window for the controls. Yep.
Here you mean? Okay.
Oh no, sorry, no, the actual screen, the visual designer.
Got you. Okay.
Okay. So I'm not sure this is the case, but the shortcut bar. Which one's your shortcut bar?
Okay, let's see. Right there, that third one on the top.
Properties. Is it hidden or anything like that? I'm just making sure that.
Nope, it's not. It's not hidden. And I guess just to make sure, I mean, we can make sure. The shortcut bar there.
Really, we'll just see on the FCO. Obviously, British Airways not allowed to travel.
No, it wouldn't be prop hide anyway. It would be like set property or hidden.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be that, no.
But yeah, but I'm
embed code.
What's that?
Is there any embed code manipulating the shortcut bar?
Not for the shortcut bar. That's what I was looking at. Because the other controls, I have a lot of code, but this particular one was just like a proof of concept in this window. So it was just a basic shortcut bar I put together just to see if I can get it to appear. And as you see, I did all the search for it. There's like no.
Could I request request
Control?
mouse? Yeah.
Sure.
So,
Sure, go for it.
Okay. I don't know if that's is that allowed? Yep. Okay.
It's a show reserve function as procedure is the one we're in.
Okay. Is this a legacy ABC?
Legacy.
Legacy, okay.
That's the only difference between the sample app from the conference and this thing is, and I don't know what really is different in your stuff. I know there's like in the template there's it looks a little bit different, but is there really a big difference?
Where it generates the code from the class point of view, no. Where it puts the code and how it hooks
in the
into
template
it
where it puts it. Okay.
Right.
I really appreciate, Andy, the time you're spending on me. Thank you so much.
No, that's no problem. So we do the init. Got to kill. Group.
Well, I'll just play back and break out.
Oh, sorry. Just 1 second. Won't be a second. Sorry about that.
I mean, like you say, your BAM
Mhm.
isn't applying yet, then obviously we need to
One other detail, Andy.
Friday's
In the shortcuts template, you know, there's a tab there where you set it if it's working with other Noyantis things. I've tried leaving that blank, and I've also tried connecting it in there, but it doesn't make a difference in this particular case.
It says you're not.
Right.
Oh, that's fine.
Shortcut bar should be something where we
No, it's all gone, man. So
set the handle in it.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Hmm. Okay, just let me take a look at that.
Interesting. On another window, I have our sample app at step like number 4 or 5, where you got the shortcut bar to appear. So let me know if you want me to pull it over to the other screen, if you want to jump in there for comparison purposes.
Okay, will
Because
do.
it works in there, and it compiles and it works. Only difference being that's an ABC app.
Yeah, I just what I'm actually wondering whether that is an issue.
And again,
Yeah.
you see, I'm just
Shouldn't be.
doing proof of concepts here. Obviously, nothing really doing, but just to get some.
Yeah, just to get the bars on the screen.
Yeah.
No, agreed. Okay, from a settings point of view, they look fine. I'm just wondering from an initialization point of view, if the shortcut bar's been. Actually, no, we've tackled this. Dot init. Just dot init. That will do. This shortcut bar init. They'll.
Also, look, the task pane is the first class declared and all that. So it seems like the order, the pane. Actually, wait, is the pane being initted after the?
No, that's basically the code got split over time, so we can see. After seeing your numbers, so actually, I'm going to regenerate a series of numbers against your account and nullify these ones. So next time you install, you have to just re-enter your numbers because publicly they've just been shown here now. So I'm going to nullify these on your account. Okay.
Okay, and then you want me to just reinstall?
No, yeah. Well, next time you do the template update, it'll ask you for the serial number. You'll just get a different set of serial numbers.
Got you.
Because
Okay.
publicly these have now been shown, but that's fine. You know, there's it's no great task for me. So yeah, I'll just I'll kill these codes next time. So what I was going to say is we can do init prepare, which it goes through. So each one of these is actually initialized. Then in turn they go through and initialize the actual content, if you will. So you've got shortcut bars first, report control, field picker, and then the docking pane. That's fine. And then we come down, there should be the...
Is that okay that the docking pane is going, because since the docking
that
pane...
is, yeah, because it's the init template settings. That's what I was looking at.
Yeah.
It's these, and because they've been separated out. These used to be a few years ago all done at once, but you didn't know. Basically, the docking pane might be making use of the shortcut bar, and the shortcut bar might be making use of the task panel. So you didn't know what was going to be initialized in what order. So that's why there's different priorities for them all, so that we know that all of them get initialized in any order they want, but they don't get linked together until this stage, by which time they all exist.
Okay.
So no, all that's good. All that looks perfectly fine. Which silly question. You said the shortcut bar appears in the other application, version 19.1.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
You mean in the global? You mean?
In the other application, you said you got another application which is ABC. I just wanted
You
to
mean
make
the
sure that
sample app?
the shortcut bar was actually registered on the application, registered within Windows.
Yeah, one sec, let me. Remember this guy?
Yes.
You talking
Yep.
about this one?
Yep. What version is that using? Is that using version 19.1?
I'm pretty sure. Let's look. Let's see the docking pane. Yes,
Yeah, that's
19.1.
We can just check the shortcut. Oh, yep.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go into that one, but I'm pretty sure that one. Oops, that one's doesn't really matter, but because the property grid was it didn't have anything to do with our issue. But the shortcut bar, let's see. Yeah, 19.1.
Very good. And if you compile and run that, I take it it's fine.
Yeah, and watch if I compile it. And watch, I'm about to run it. Okay, one sec. Okay, and there it is. And again, this is number 4. So remember, it's pretty early on. But and again, I messed with the shortcut bar because I went and I messed with it trying to say, okay, I'm doing the exact same thing, this and that. And you see, it puts it here. It appears in this task pane. So I'm able to, so it works in this thing.
Yeah. From the, like I say, the
So
concept
I
point of
was
view.
able to eliminate the that code check doesn't work or something. So I don't know if it's ABCs. The only other.
That's the only thing I'm thinking of, which means you'll have to. I'll look at that. We've got a series of updates, as you probably heard this week. So I'll look at that here as a matter of urgency and get an update out if it is that, which there's every chance it looks like it could be.
Do you think it could be like that something's in the legacies not being knitted in time or not in the wrong order or something like that?
It does. It does suggest that, although I'm surprised. I'll be honest with you, but it does seem to suggest that. Yeah. But I'll have to put an example together here, a bit like the training one. Not as complex, not as polished as that, but just the concept of it. Shortcut bar hosted in a docking pane, shortcut bar hosting a task panel, things like that, just from a legacy point of view, and just make sure that they all do work correctly. So yes.
Now, one thing I could this could be a good help in figuring this out. Right here in the let me see for this particular pane, the docking pane. If I were to take here and let's say I did this, no control, and then go to here and do the field picker. I'm trying to think. For some reason, I'm thinking I could be wrong. Ah.
Oh.
Am I the only one to whom this happens to?
No, you're in good company.
The exit, that happens all the time. But luckily, it always saves it. I think I'm sure because I've tried so many different combinations working last night on this. But for some reason, I have it in my head that I can get the field picker to show up in there.
Yeah.
And if I can, I know when you try to think on this, Andy, I'm sure that's some kind of clue, right? If the field picker goes in there.
Oh no, it's a good test what you're doing, definitely.
So let me just see. Let me just verify that 1 second. Because I cannot get the docking. I mean the shortcut bar or the command bar in there, which is really what I need, the command bar. But
Well,
I'm
you
sure
don't get a command bar. You get a bar of the command bar. But yeah, there's your.
See, look at that. So So it's not like it doesn't work with any. See, look at that. This control works perfectly.
Well, here's a
with the-
clue. There's your shortcut bar on the screen, but it's just the actual empty OCX.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a bar. So just go into your screen design and make that bigger, if you will. So draw it. Leave all the settings as you've got it now, but let's just make that larger just temporarily.
Okay. One sec.
Okay, I won't be.
Can you let me go back and put the picker back into the other
No,
spot?
no. Leave that as is. Go to the one which did the shortcut bar, which should be the third one.
Right here.
And yeah, let's just make it wider and yeah, something like so I can just see if it's got actual content.
Okay. Like this?
Yep.
Okay. And you saw the content. It's got like 2 things in there, right?
Yep.
Just to, yeah, it just got a couple BS items in there that do not. Okay.
No problem.
So, all right. So we made the shortcut bar now big. Let me compile this.
Okay, I won't be a second. Just need to catch someone before they leave. Won't be a second.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, sorry about that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so good news for me anyway. Good news. It's a shortcut bar not being initialized because we should see 2 bars there. Okay.
Well, remember, I took away the shortcut bar of being called into this thing. Let me ask this. If let's say I don't call the shortcut bar into any of my panes, where should the shortcut bar be appearing?
If you say again, sorry.
Okay, right now, I called the field picker into this pane right here.
Yeah.
And I'm not really calling, so to say, the shortcut bar into any pane, right?
Yeah, so it's just.
So should it still appear somewhere?
Well, it's part of the window, which is what you're looking at there. So you are seeing it as part of the window, but you don't want it to be. You want it to be used as a piece of content in the docking panes, which is what we just did, undid, I should say. So basically, that's good. That proves that it's a docking pane, not that the shortcut bar not initializing, and there's nothing wrong with the docking pane getting hold of it and so on and so forth. So, so let's go a step back and let's have a look at our shortcut bar settings. Let's go start at the global level.
The fact that our field picker appears is a good sign, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So go to the global extensions if we can, please.
Okay. Global. Okay. Again, I really appreciate your help, Andy.
No problem. Now we're going to go to shortcut bar.
Okay.
Now part of the controls that you've been passed will allow you to pause the screen, because what I want you to do is just check. So have you paused your screen?
What's again?
Can you pause the screen share at the moment?
Oh, pause it. Okay. Let me see. How do I do that? Let me see. One sec. Let me see.
On there might be an icon for whether your screen's on show or you can pause the actual screen. What's been
people? Okay, here.
Oh,
okay.
Right. Now just go to, obviously don't read out what's on there, all of it anyway, but just go to the shortcut bar and go to the ActiveX license and click your validate. Click the button for the license code.
Oh, I see.
And what's
Oh
in
my
there?
goodness. And I know that's wrong. Okay, it just, instead of saying validation code colon and then the validation code, it just has a validation code in there.
Ah, right. So you need the one, it's out of your shortcut bar.
Yeah,
.lic
I can't believe
file.
that was it. My goodness.
Well, if nothing else, what we've just seen there, I think that was actually still beneficial, because what we've just done there, just while you're getting, you put your license code in, and then you can reshare your screen again. But obviously, once you've pressed
Yeah,
return
yeah.
and
One second, let me get the.
So to recap for everybody else who's watching and so on, what we've just done there is, as Alex he had the what should have been the shortcut bar in a pane on the left, report control in the middle, field picker on a pane on the right, which he hides and shows depending on the user interaction. So the pane wasn't the shortcut bar wasn't showing. We checked the particular settings. We didn't check the license code for obvious reasons because we didn't want to show it. And then Alex, quite rightly, said, okay, well, what we'll do is we'll move the field picker into the pane on the left just to check that, basically eliminate, is it an issue setting the content of that pane? It shouldn't have been, of course, but it's worthwhile testing. By doing that, yes, the field picker moved to the pane on the left and the shortcut bar was left in limbo, but it did enable us to see that it wasn't actually initializing. Just the empty OLE container was visual, which is what you was ultimately seeing in the pane to start with. So we've gone around the houses, but it actually did. That's a very English phrase. But yes, we've gone a long way around it, I should say. But we've identified that it was actually the initialization of the shortcut bar, not displaying the content.
Now, let me ask them, in theory, should a vertical command bar be able to be put in there too?
No, a bar, yes. A whole command bar control, no. But one bar of a command bar, yes, can be. Because you can't.
Okay.
The command bar can have multiple bars on it. You can have.
Yeah, I mean, okay, one bar ID. Let's put it
Yes,
that's way.
yes, it can be.
So one bar ID I could put in there, right?
Can. The example app we did, which you attended in the States, has an example of that in there.
Okay, perfect.
You have to put a line of code in for that, though. I will make it easier in the next version, but currently you have to put one line of code in there, and it's where it's to do the setting the handle of the docking pane content, and you set it to the handle of one bar of the command bar.
Oh, that's right, because otherwise you're specifying the entire
The whole control, and you can't really.
Yeah, the whole control, but so instead you need to just put the handle
of the one bar, and I think it's something like
get bar.
Yeah, get bar object, or get bar handle, something like that.
Okay. Okay, look at that. Our buttons are here now.
Yeah, now we've got that. So now the last thing you want to do is to switch your contents back as they were, and it will give you the desired look and feel you're after.
Wow, that's exciting. Let me see. So here's going to be code job, the field picker. And then in this guy,
you're very fast and very confident around these. This is good. How long have you been using the templates then?
Hardcore for probably about 2.5 months. I've been working.
You're very confident in them. That's great. That's really good to see. Really good to see.
Thank you. I love it. Okay, we're putting the shortcut bar there. That should do it. Wow, fantastic. Yeah, and it makes sense about the command bar. That's right. Since it can only take one bar, that you have to put the line of code for that.
Yeah, it's because
It makes
the
sense.
golden rule of the docking panes is if you can get to the handle of something, you can dock it. But the command bar itself, although it has got a handle, it can have several several bars of its own, which in turn have
Right.
their own handles, and you can only dock the bars. There you go.
Perfect. This is it. That's it. Wow. Awesome. That is so awesome.
Yep, looks good. Looks good.
Andy, thank you so much. You've solved my problem, and now I can go ahead and stick. Yeah, I was really, I would have never thought to look at, because I thought I had the license, because I know that you have to have the whole thing in there, and I don't know how that crept in there. That was smart that you started checking there.
No, that was a worthwhile exercise, and hopefully others have got some debug tips out of it. Anyway, I like the little turning the bar on and off via the right click. I mean, yeah, looks good.
Yeah. I was thinking, because I'm trying to not there be any buttons hanging around, because we're redesigning. It looks very old-fashioned. This is trying to make it look more modern. I love some things you've done are just fantastic, Andy. Very, very impressive.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yep, looks good. Like that a lot. Okay, and we have actually got another question in, so I'm just going to pinch the screen back if we can.
Yep. Let me. Thank you so much, Andy.
Oh, you're welcome. I'll leave the mic open. Just if you self mute, but if you've got any questions, just unmute and ask. There you go.
Will do. Thank you.
Okay. Right. Won't be a second. Sorry about that. That's my wife Wendy works for us, but she's just finished, and I was going to offer to take my car home, but she reminded me I walked into work this morning, so my car's not here anyway. So it looks like I'm walking home as well. There we go. Right, Alan, let's open up the mic. Where are we? Have you gone, Alan? There you are. Hi, Alan.
You hear me?
Yes. Yep. So you're asking, can you show how to set up a queue as a data source in the report control? Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
I couldn't find an example, and it didn't make a lot of sense to me.
Right. So what's yeah, we spoke about this in the past on the weekly webinars. So how is your data getting into your queue? Is it a queue that you currently like a manually loaded list control on the screen, something like that, or is it a queue from the SQL data?
Yeah, I was thinking it'd be just a queue loaded from a SQL query.
Yeah, fine, no problem. Okie dokie. So,
boy, it would be. By the way, it'd be just incredible to have an index of topics covered, by user group session. It's just so hard to find one in the past, that might have answered the question.
Agreed.
But yeah, there's only so many hours in the day, right?
Well, although Ben's not in today, we've got a part-time lad that works for us, and he's been doing some of the documentation, which is good looking, really good actually. Give you a quick sneak preview. Let's go to some of Ben's things. Where are we, Ben? So we have a look. We'll just choose one at random. CHM's as good as any. So yeah, so we have got these. So help is at hand. Help's coming. Okay, and this is the look and feel of all the particular items we've got, and so on and so forth, and all the class methods. But what he's more or less coming to the end of this step. So what I'm going to get him to do is go through past webinars, not watch them all, just skip through them, trying to get any pertinent bits, and I'll get them indexed that way. So that is a job for Ben, because you're not the only one who asks, Alan. Others have as well. So
Yeah, it's a tremendous resource, and I've spent a lot of hours reviewing them and watching them, but it turns out when there's one specific thing you want to know about, you can't find it.
I know what you mean. And it's the same here, people will say, you covered it a few weeks ago, but if anything like my memory, that few weeks can actually be morphed into probably 2 months ago, something like that. So,
yeah.
So report control, we've done it. I'll keep it under the webinars. I don't think I've overwritten any of these. And if we haven't, then we'll knock one together now. So let's have a quick look in here. No, nothing jumps out at me here. No, because I swore we no problem. No problem. So one of the things I think I can think of an enhancement I could do. Queue, local queue enhanced. Well, that looks like a more polished one. No, it's not. Definitely not polished. No icons. No, it's terrible. But let's just take a look. So I think the way this works is you've got your queue of data. It uses a Clarion list and enhances the Clarion list, but that list is based upon. But you shouldn't have to do it because we can bind it to a table and so on. So we should just be able to point it straight to a queue and just say, get my data from that queue. Ask you for the mappings, of course, what columns out of your queue, so on and so forth. But at the moment, let's just look at this. I think, yeah, this is just creating some random data. Okay, so we have a local queue, which is what you're getting your SQL stuff back into, if you will. So you wouldn't have this, you'd have your query, and obviously you'd have a load of results. Then we're using the list enhancer. So I put a Clarion list on the screen and I've called the sync rows. But that's still a slow way of doing stuff. I think I can speed that up. So I will use this for now while you're doing a particular example. But in the updates, which will come out this week, I'll tell you exactly how it's going to work. So I can eliminate the list. But for now, we have put a list on the screen. That's just a standard list control from like so. Use, and I've just give it a use variable, and it's from our local queue, which we've got, and your standard list box format. So we've got some data in there. We've gone to the extensions, and we've added. No, it's not that one. There, that one. We've added list enhance on, and we've attached it to. Did I do that on screen? Maybe I did.
I mean, the regular report control template's got a selection for queue loaded.
Yeah. But I've got from here, from queue, but it's not prompting us for the particular columns and so on, or the actual queue. It should be prompting you there. Well, what's the name of your queue? You'll get your columns out of there, obviously, just like you do with a table, like so. So there's our view.
Yeah, I thought I was going crazy. We're wondering why it didn't ask me for the name of the queue.
Yeah, no, it should. Oh, hang on, no, we have got one there. Yeah, no, I remember this now. That's what it should be. This got released. This basically got out to you guys, the public, before it should have done. That could be a problem for the queue. That there should work very similar to that file. So you've got, here we go, what's your name of your file, so on and so forth, and you get the contents from your queue, you specify which columns from there, and the queue one never got updated, and it's there, and it never got finished. So that's how you will do it this week, Alan. But if you need it, i.e. today, now.
No, it's not. It's just for the future. I was playing with it and thought it looked real handy, but that was one thing I was trying to do and couldn't figure out.
Yeah, no, you would do it on here. You can do a list enhance, so there it is. report control list enhancer. You add it like so. Report control list enhancer. So you add it as an extension, which is what's on there. And then I said it should prompt you for not on there, it's there, list enhancer, and it asks you for which list are you, going to enhance. That can still, that's a bit misleading because it's from a queue, but that should still be there. That one shouldn't, but that should still be there. So I'll tidy that up this week as well, because it's pointless asking for that. But the related record's still fine, because you might have your SQL query, which is based upon maybe your lowest common denominator table, like if it was an invoice header and invoice lines, you might base it on an invoice lines table, if you will, and have the related table as a header. But you're doing a SQL query, you've got it coming back into a queue, very efficient, very, very nice, very fast, but you'll still want this related record, because when they click around the report control, you want it to automatically synchronize the active record so that you can go off and update and so on and so forth. So that's what the related record will do for you. So you'll probably still want that, even if it's queue based. You'll still want that functionality on yours. So the related record really it stays all the time, regardless of the data source. So if I should be able to change that to data binding and it's still there, or we know file and it's still there, queue and it will be there, the manually load, technically it can still be there with manually load as well, because you put the rows in however you want them to be and you can optionally link it to a related record. So cancel that. If you did need it this week, put a list on the screen and use a list enhancer. Let me just see where that is called. Well, obviously, just want to see it in action because I know we've covered this in one of the previous weeks. Local queue enhancer. Local queue enhancer on list enhancer. There, local queue. So we generate some data, there you go, and then you've got your related data. That should be, maybe it's not related then. No, it mustn't be set. I don't know the example, I think it was just random data. I suppose you get against one of them. No, it's just random data. But that's how you would do it temporarily. But you are correct. What you should have is point it to a queue. It will prompt you for the queue, and then you just populate it just the same as you would a file/view loaded entity. So
Got it.
I'll get that sorted for you this week.
Okay.
No problem. And then we've got Antonio. That's good. Antonio's here because I know he had a question on. Alan, are we good at that? Yeah.
We're good. Thanks.
Cool. Very good. Okay. I'll let you self-mute just in case you see something which catches your eye. Just saves you raising the hand so you can jump in accordingly. Antonio, are you there?
Yes. Yes. Hi, Andy.
So you got it's a report control question, correct?
Yes, right. For some reason, sometimes this happens to me. When I populate a report control, the tab that contains it's selected at first. I mean, no matter where it is, it just goes.
That's no problem. That is one of the options on there. Let me I can take any of these. We'll choose. We'll go with a simple one because that's nice and easy. But all of them have the same. So if you go to your report control, and I think it's on appearance. So you go to appearance and you've got a check there. Select the control when the window's opened.
Oh, that's what it is? Oh,
that's what it is. So even if it's on another tab, a child tab, or maybe a grandchild tab, if that's ticked, it will still bring it into focus.
Okay, so it overrides everything else, right?
That does, yes.
Okay. That takes care of that one.
If I just try that, I go into this option and then press the up and down arrow. Oh, I've got a row selected. Maybe I should have selected a row as well. Actually. Need to set this to 19.1. Like I wasn't getting any callbacks then. That's the only problem with using the examples from webinars. There's every chance I'm not going to use that simple because it looks like I've used it too many times and I've screwed it up with previous examples what we've done in the webinars. So what I was going to do is just choose another one. Cell selection's perfectly fine. So I've gone in, I've not clicked anywhere, and I can go up and down because it's straight into focus. So I'm going to stick with that cell selection. And I'm going to turn that, we'll look at it from a screen design point of view. So the report control is first. I don't want it to be first. I'm going to make that entry first. Hence why these examples, what we use on a weekly basis, they can always be screwed up because these aren't our polished examples. These are just the rough ones which we use as examples in the weekly webinars. Okay, so we've got that example there. I'm going to go into our report control and turn off that setting. So same option, cell selection. So this time I go up and down, and of course I'm in the entry, as I would be because that's the first entry in the Clarion screen. Now if I turn that cell selection back on, that would then take that into focus automatically. So that's all it is: appearance and select upon what's it called? Select upon window entry, something like that.
Okay.
Window open.
Got it. Okay. I have one more question.
Okay.
Sometimes maybe I haven't come to really understand the behavior of the report control, but sometimes for some reason that I don't know, when you're scrolling down, it just goes up like by itself. It's like it's up and down, like goes crazy. I don't know if it's this. Do you have any clue like why that is?
How's it loaded? Is it page loaded or file loaded, or is it an answer?
It's a file loaded. Actually, I noticed that sometimes when I disable the control, the behavior just goes back to normal and it populates like the whole data. But when I use the template, when I enable it, it just displays like a certain group of records, like not the whole thing. And
so
it does.
Are you using the browser enhancer, or are you manually? Are you calling the load facility from the template?
No, that's the browser enhancement.
Right. Okay. It would depend on what sort you've got. So let's say you. It sounds like it's page loaded, not file loaded, though. I'll be honest.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's probably page loaded. I thought you were talking about, like a queue or something. No.
Right.
It is a table, but it's a page loaded browser.
Right. Okay. So you've got a few ways of getting data into the report control. You've got the manual, which you can see here. So, yep, that's just done via code. You've got the new way where you can specify it from a file, and it will write you the view, and it will write you the code. So there's no Clarion list on the screen there. That's just a straightforward report control, but that is writing all of the actual commands to get the data. But it is the equivalent of file loaded. Okay? And then you have got the enhancers, which is what we're saying here. So you've got page loaded and file loaded. Now, yep, the page loaded should go through like so. I better scroll down and have a look at them settings. But yeah, now I happen to know that key matches. So that those sort match the key that the table's told to go in. Now, if you're page loaded and you start selecting different sorts, what it tries to do to the Clarion backend is tell it, okay, I need the data in this order. But if there's no matching key, it's not the best of matches between the two. I'll be honest. But it's we're telling Clarion how we want the order. It changes what you call a prop, the prop order, and it passes it the new identities for the columns and so on. But because Clarion hasn't got a matching key, it can do a bit of a poor job of populating the report, the Clarion list underneath, which of course we're then enhancing. So that's where you will get a breakdown. It's if you're allowing the user to have different sort orders and your key structures really support, that's where you're going to have an issue.
Okay, so what were you advising? I mean, what would you recommend? Like,
well, if it's a particular table where you must go with page loaded and go with the enhancer, so you've got a lot of records, then I would turn off some of the column sorting and only let them sort on the columns where you know you've got a key which will support it.
Okay.
It's a bit of a trade-off, really. It really comes down to the design. If it was SQL, of course, in SQL you can say, okay, here's the data and give me the data back in this particular order and so on, and you'll get your results back. And depending on what indexes are set up at the back end, you might get them fast and you might get them slow. It really depends on number of records, indexes, speed, so on and so forth. Now, if it's TPS and you haven't got matching keys, I think you're in for a world of pain there, personally. So it's that trade-off. Personally, I don't like using the page-loaded browse enhancer. I don't do. Can't say I haven't done, because there's been times when I've needed it, but where I've needed it, I have turned off extra sorting. So I don't think we've got a key on that. So if I let them sort by that column, followed by that column, so let's go. No, can't see.
So if you use a file, but if you use a file loaded option, it takes care of all that?
Yes, because you're then sorting what's in memory, what's in the report control.
I remember trying that, but I also remember it being like too slow. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well,
but
how much data, how many records are we talking about here?
Well, probably a few 100,000.
Yeah, so that's where you're probably going to get a trade-off, because the speed of that. So you correct, a page loaded is better. On a few 100,000, you don't want the user to just go in and have to load a few 100,000 rows. So I understand that, but you will probably have to turn off some of the custom sorting.
Okay. I'll look into that, Andy.
Okay.
Okay, last one. This is a weird one. I'm sorry, maybe I'm doing something wrong, but it has to do with the calendar control. And
you said about colours, because did you ask a question? Yeah. So I saw it and I said, I think it's which custom colours are you? Just let me bring the calendar example up again. This is one of our weekly webinar examples, so it won't be the polished example. It'll be one which we've been putting code into each week, but still we can still use it. So are we talking about?
Well,
yeah, go on.
Yes, go ahead. Well,
which colours?
The point is, well, it's a weird thing. It all started happening after, like, I don't know why. I didn't do anything particular, but it happened to one of my clients, and they edited the event, they changed the color, and then when you go back to the calendar view, it just displays like a different color. Like let's say you choose a green, and it just shows you like a kind of like a pink color, and it's a weird behavior, because sometimes no matter what color you select, it just displays like the same color when you go back to the calendar view. And then when you edit it does show the right color, you know, like right there.
Yeah.
It does show you the right one. But when you go back to the calendar view, it just shows a different one. It's like I have no idea what this is.
Let's just check. That was, yeah, I was gonna say, just let me just I double clicked that routine before people wonder why it just jumped then. It's because I had it open twice. So, but we'll go out and go back in. It's still blue. Yeah. Okay. Let's just check how you're getting the colors and the data in there. So I'm just going to use, again, I always have a simple, so we'll go with that. So first things first, do you have your data going in an embed point called load events?
Yes. Actually, I really, to be honest with you, I actually followed the example like pretty much, so it's pretty much the same.
No, cool, very good, that's good. So you got that. So do you prime up a group, the calendar event group?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Let me check. I'm actually opening the so yeah.
Okay. Okay. And you're setting the color obviously from.
Yeah. It has a default color, which it does work. But then when the user like tries to edit it, it just goes crazy.
Okay. Okay. In this embed point, in the synchronize, so you've got two synchronize. You've got a synchronize file to calendar and a synchronize calendar to file. So you're having your user basically. Just let me show you what the two are. So if I resize this, okay, that will then trigger synchronize calendar to file because I've moved it in the calendar or I've resized it in the calendar. So I've changed it in the calendar and it wants to go back to the file. So that that synchronized calendar to file. The other way would be if I opened up some kind of form and so on. I changed some details and we'll change the color, as you say. We change details and then I press OK. Now I've updated the file and not the calendar. So now I need the other synchronize to work. I need the synchronize file to calendar.
Right.
So if we look at that embed point, and what that wants to do, and I use a group, is again I prime up the group with all of the details of the updated record, and then I call change event from group with the ID of the that's a parameter what comes into here. The ID, where is it? Mode, which is insert, change, delete, and the param ID.
Yeah, that's pretty much what my code looks like.
Okay, can we take a look then? Because that's really all you really need to do.
Yeah, okay. The thing is, I was testing it right now. It actually works on my computer. And I thought at first that it might be one of their computers, but on their particular network, all computers do the same thing. It's a weird thing. It's probably not even, it's probably a Windows problem or something. But I just
never heard of that though. I'll be honest with you. Only because Windows really wouldn't. If we think it through, first things first. Just like earlier with Alex, we didn't have the shortcut bar, and we found out it was it's not initialized and that kind of thing. First things first, can we see the calendar? And of course we can. Are we getting the callback events occurring? So if I go into here, get rid of that ABC, which we can see is there, and it comes back. So e.g., well, the callbacks must be working. The fact that I've double clicked that tells me, and I've opened a form tells me the callbacks are working. So we've got that, and it's updating back there. And if I go out and back in again, is that saving? And if all that is going through, it's got to be how that group is being set and so on.
Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna keep looking and then get back to you. Maybe I'm still missing some information, so I don't want to take up your time, right?
That's no problem. But the main things I would take a look at, and it sounds like you've already done it in fairness, is that is a very important embed point, the load events, and that's an important embed point.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, the
Okay.
good news for you is the update, which was the start of this webinar. The update, which is due to come out next for the next update for the calendar, will actually write this code for you. It will write that code for you. It will write that code for you. That code for you, so on and so forth. So you will have, just like the report control, where you can specify that it's coming from a row, sorry, coming from a view or a file. You will also have your data source here, and it will be view and file. So you can basically quickly show you what we mean, but because I don't know if you've seen this in the report control, but you can specify file loaded. No, not that. View, there you go, view loaded. So in here, I've said I want the data to come from a Clarion view, which can be based upon, TPS table, SQL table, whatever, it doesn't matter. So there it is, it's a file/view coming from the customers. Unique field is a customer ID, and we've got other attributes if you want to, like a range limit, all the things you would have on a Clarion browser.
Oh, yeah.
But what that does is it will write the view for you, and it will actually do the data loading. So if we go to that, it will actually, in the data load, write the code for you and populate all the content. And the calendar's having the exact same functionality.
Awesome. That's great.
But you won't have to. We won't impose our fields on it for you. What you will have instead, if I just jump down to say something like this, if I was to set this to be queue loaded, just waiting for this. So if I say queue, what it actually does is it asks you for the queue and then asks you for all the different fields, so it can map it to your table structures, because we don't know what you call your table or your fields or your keys and so on and so forth. So it will ask you for this information, but it won't be for a queue, it will be for the file. So that will be the file.
When is this due, Andy? When is this?
Realistically, probably Friday/Monday.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay.
So.
Okay, looking forward then.
Yeah.
Okay, Andy. The last one. It might be a simple one. I'm trying to update the contents of the the view of the calendar when I when the user not when I update the file on my app, but also on the on the SQL interface. So when I gain focus on the window, I want to view the new contents of the calendar.
Okay, yep.
I don't know which method. I'm calling the refresh contents method.
Refresh contents with a true, with a parameter.
Yeah. So what it does is it's like a flow thing, because it kind of like disappears all the events and then reappears like the whole thing. So I was wondering if that's the right way, and that's the way it's supposed to.
It will do, because you will see that, because it's in here. Basically, what it's doing is it's telling it to delete all the old events and then repopulate itself.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you will get that. I'm just trying to think if I go into here. I got any in here? Why was that to Sunday? Oh, that's also thing, sorry. Oh, not on a person, that's why. Thank you. Right, just get some data in. Okay, now, yeah, if I do a refresh, and you're getting that,
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's because it's basically it's told to remove all the old events and basically reload all of it. Basically, it's a full refresh contents. And just for everybody else, it's not just the calendar as a refresh contents. We're putting it into all. It's going to be a common method, and all of the products are going to have refresh content. So the report control already has it. The property grid's going to get it, and so on. So you'll just be able to tell it to refresh, basically wherever data source you're getting your data from. It will go from reload it and reapply it, if you will.
okay.
But no, that is correct on what you're seeing there.
Okay, and do the icons that I see on that calendar, do they have to have like a certain property? Because sometimes I just can't seem to like get them to be displayed. And maybe it's because of like resolution thing, or I don't know.
No, well, here's the thing. It's one of the things I'm going to check. But what color theme are you using for your calendar?
I don't remember, to be honest with you.
Okay. For custom icons, because that's what these are. These are custom icons.
Yes.
Stick with the Office 2010 theme. Now, normally I'd say, use the latest themes. You can see, this is using the latest themes. But the calendar, the Office 2013 and Office 2016 doesn't seem to let you have custom icons. And of course,
I actually use Office 2013. Yeah.
Yeah. So use 2010 instead, and you'll get your custom icons.
Oh, okay.
I'll have a look if that's a restriction of the UI license about the custom icons. I'll have a look at that because it could well be, you see.
Okay. Okay, Andy. Well, that's pretty much it. Thank you
Cool.
so much.
Okay. Well, that was good. We went from not having too many questions to having questions, which is exactly what we're here for. But now we've got no more, and we're over time. So, I think that's going to been a good event. So, thank you, everybody. As we know, there is no CIDC at the moment. CIDC 2020 Africa event. So these were, cancelled for a few weeks, but they're not now. So it's business as usual. So I shall see you next Monday. Okay. Until then, thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, Andy.
Thank you, Andy.
Thank you. Speak soon. Bye.
Bye.